Welcome, everyone.
Good times. I mean, we need an intro for our podcast because we need to not be like, "Hey guys," we need to just have like one of those intro play.
Yeah,
and then we just jump on.
Yeah,
Let's
this
go.
could be it. And like,
say welcome once.
We need an intro. We need an intro thing. You know,
somebody that listens and knows how to do that stuff. Like, make us a cool intro. We'll use it.
We're talking about church tech and AI today. Like, what else would we be talking about?
Yeah, I don't know about you, but AI was like, it blew up like what, 4 months ago?
I felt like November's ChatGPT 3 hit.
It wasn't November. It was like, but I'm talking about like mainstream blew up. Like it was like this year. Yeah. Like sometime, I think it was like 4 months ago or so, right, give or take. Wow. And, like the excitement is worn off.
No way.
Yeah. Like, I still think there's massive value and lots of good things are coming, but I'm just not as like.
Dude, I use it more every day now.
I don't use it more. My usage is gone. My usage is like Threads. Right. Like we launched, Zuck launched Threads and everybody used it. That's my usage of AI right now.
Well, where to?
I should say ChatGPT. I use AI because it's like kind of in a lot of things now. But
we're using it a lot at work, right? Like we're talking to our engineers yesterday, and they're getting 20, 30+% productivity gains by putting code through, Copilot. It's invasive, and I think it is. It's the third big thing since the internet, mobile, AI. I think it's the biggest three things in 30 years.
Yeah, it's interesting, man. I mean, we use it a lot for sure. I mean, support, right? Our support team is leveraging it a ton now.
Yep.
I mean, we talk with employees and they're like, I used it for this thing. And you're like, well, that's cool, or they're like, I'm using it more, like you said, more and more every day while I'm using it less. I don't know. Maybe it's just a sign.
The general tip is, lean in, because it's going to be a massive disruptor.
Yeah.
And if you didn't learn Microsoft Word and you wanted to stay on your typewriter in the early 90s, you lost your job. So I think it's going to be highly productivity increasing for businesses. Yeah. And so if you're listening and you're like, oh, my AI is going to take my job. No, just become really good at it and you'll always have a job. That's the tip. Like
we had 2 people in our marketing department, right? Both amazing, been around. One of them been around for a long time at Tithely, and they had babies. So they went on leave.
Yeah.
And, we're super excited for them and all the things, but it was kind of right around when AI was hitting
100%
and becoming a thing. And we were starting to dabble with it in marketing, and they were like, a little worried, like, am I going to lose my job because, the robots are now creating all the content.
Right.
And of course we think the world of them and would never want them to, leave, like, let alone leave because, AI replaced them. Right.
Right.
And they came back and, we're just like, go learn the tools, right? Just learn the tools. Like, you're awesome. Go get better with the tools and get more.
Exactly.
Become better at your job because the tools are giving you superpowers, right?
100%.
Needless to say, they're both back and have their babies and doing awesome
and loving it. So I went to ChatGPT 4. That's the paid version, and we pretty much bought it for everyone in the business that wanted it. And I went in and I asked, I need talking points for a podcast about churches and the benefits of AI in everyday church life. So that was the prompt.
Yeah.
And I got back some incredible points that we'll talk about. I got back 12. The first one, it was really interesting. The evolution of technology in church, which I thought was kind of thoughtful.
Well, right? It's like they knew, the guy asking the question somehow dealt with tech.
Totally. So from the printing press, revolutionizing Bible access, to audiovisual tech enhancing worship experiences, the logical progression from websites to mobile apps is then to AI. So it just kind of set it up. It's like, don't panic. Like, tech has been changing the way we do church for hundreds of years. This is just the next step.
So that point just got, like 90% of pastors really afraid and 10% really excited, because like 10% were like, oh great, I can use AI and like put myself on screen and I can just be
100%. That's
right. That's, and then the other 90% are like, oh great, like there's going to be some AI person on stage, preaching.
Well, here's some really, so the first real point is personalized spiritual growth. AI's powered devotional and Bible reading plans tailored to an individual's spiritual journey and preferences. Man, we've had a little product that we've kind of been working on the side here. We haven't fully launched it yet, sermon.ly.
Right.
But AI is incredible. So I don't write many sermons anymore because I don't preach regularly anymore. But I still like to write sermons, keeps me kind of sharp. And so I've been writing sermons with, ChatGPT and Sermonly. And it is unbelievable. It's not going to replace preaching. It's not going to replace, meditating on a verse and getting something from the Holy Spirit to deliver to your congregation, obviously. But man, as a research assistant, it is going to be like, so I did this. I spoke to some business people for this church. It was on Zoom. It was in England, actually. And I went and said, I want like principles for Christian business people. And it spat out the best kind of, like 1,000-word, I think I had 8 points, 10 points. And it's just incredible. So like as a research assistant, 1,000% church leaders, sermon writers, you've got to lean in because it changes the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
That's the truth.
I mean, just generally, right? Right now, it seems like AI is the most common place that you're seeing people talk about it is with content.
Correct.
Just any form of content.
That was our first usage, I think, right?
Yeah. But I mean, just in general, right? It's like, oh, it's writing content. It's doing video stuff. It's automatically, like AI is going to automatically take this podcast.
Yep.
And it's going to produce clips. Like we use this tool called Riverside.fm. And, maybe they'll now be a paid sponsor. Let's go, Riverside.
Let's go. But we know the guys at Pulpit AI. We all know those guys. Like they're literally building this tool that you can take your sermon and it spits out social media assets, outlines for small groups. Like it's bonkers.
Yeah. So like all the things are like producing like video clips, blog posts, tweets, like that kind of stuff, or even, content writing tools like Sermonly. There's one called Jasper that's super popular. Like there's a bunch of these like content tools, even churches I've talked to that have been using AI for, well over a year because they were kind of early, geeky folks. Like the content universe is being swept up, right? Like that's a thing, whether it's email writing or website copy or social media stuff, like that's a thing, right?
Well, that's like his enhancing worship services. Like the second point there, real-time AI translation and transcription services allow multilingual congregations to worship seamlessly together.
Right. Yeah, the translator in the back. That's like for us, like in my home church, right? We have I'm in San Diego, so you got Mexico right next door. So translating into Spanish in every service, it's always happening in every service. Totally. There's someone in the back or a team in the back that's live translating during the preaching.
That's a great idea for an app. You basically build an app with, it gets the English feed or the any language feed and in almost real time.
It's like 30-second delay or something like that. Yeah, you put
the earbuds in and like the Spanish speakers can, I love that. Look at this, the first one, predictive algorithms for worship song selections based on congregational preferences and liturgical season.
Oh my gosh. That is going to just, predictive anything about anything in church is going to just, there's going to be I don't know.
Full on.
Uproar.
Bleeding edge. Administrative efficiency, we talked about that. This next one's kind of interesting. Outreach and evangelism. AI can analyze community needs and guide churches in outreach planning.
Right.
That's awesome. Like, you're feeding in the local city, the local suburb, wherever you are. somehow you're going to can grab all that information.
Yeah.
And like, oh, there's this many homeless people. There's this many there's this. And maybe that helps a church like get focused in local ministry.
Yeah, churches do a version of that today, and it makes me think of church plants, right? Like a lot of times, church plants, like you've done it, like they go look like, okay, what city do I feel called to? Okay, then in the city, what areas, right? Maybe have population growth or schools or local business, like you just look for places where like where's going to be a good spot to put a church, and you're using data. And you're probably driving around and checking things out. You're learning the city and all the things. There's a lot of factors that go in. Yeah,
that's what Home Depot does. They do. Back in the day, I would tell guys that wanted to plant. I said, just find the Walmart and Home Depots where those are going, and go and plant there, because they've spent millions on studies knowing where the population is moving.
Right.
So
yeah,
it's like automated follow-ups for first-time visitors. We have that. In some of our products.
And to me, that's a content thing, right? That's just another version of like, I know something, so the content engine is like getting better at predicting and knowing and doing all the things.
Dude, this is funky. So this is accessibility and inclusivity. So for people with disabilities, AI can enhance their worship experience. Example, convert sermons into sign language in real time for the hearing impaired.
Yeah.
Dude, how awesome would that be?
Like that one, and that's like, I'm always thinking of like how people are going to react to this stuff, but that one's kind of cool, because what if you had on screen, you just had the AI person, right?
Maybe it's just hands.
I don't know. That would look kind of weird, but like, that would just be a strange. But you see a lot like events, right? You'll see events where there's a person,
100%,
and they're up front usually, right? But then on screen, they're like maybe off to the side or something like that on a like a secondary screen. But like every church being able to do that or offer that, that one seems like a real win, right? You can just automatically have, that, and it's similar to like just translation, right? Like other languages, sign language, like all the things.
Yeah. What about church safety and security? Predictive analysis to prepare for large events and ensure crowd management.
This just means that the cameras are scanning the audience and know everybody that's in the building.
That's kind of scary. Intelligent surveillance systems. So well, dude, I went through Salt Lake City Airport the other day, and it's the full face. Like basically your face comes on the thing and the gate opens.
Where? What part?
I've not seen back that. Come back in from vacation.
Okay.
We have global entry, which is like get through super fast. But it didn't even do that. Like there's no forms anymore. There's no nothing. There's like face, Dean Sweetman, global entry member, please come in.
Right.
It was like both awesome and scary.
Yeah. Like Clear, but Clear does the eye, and it's kind of.
But this was like, I didn't have to do. Yeah, I just took my photo.
It just worked.
And it just worked. And the guy, the door little thing flicked open. And I'm looking at the guy. He's like, "Come on through."
Right.
I'm like, "Okay."
You're like, "I'm not going to get patted down. I don't have to walk through."
Like, is there anything wrong? I mean, shoot, that is just, and that's that. You know how people are like, China has the social score on everyone, and they've got everyone's photos. Like, I get that. Like this stuff can be used for bad.
Yeah.
But I think we always kind of lean on this. You know what? It can be used for good too. Mm-hmm. And let's not let the world take to technology and be 15 years behind.
Yeah.
Let's realize that
in big environments, like your average church with 100, 200 people, like this isn't a thing, right? But like your big churches, like big mega churches, or big Christian events, like things like that, where there is more of a a safety thing going on there, right? Just protecting the mass, like so I mean, they're doing it right. I've read about it a few other places where that happens. I mean, wasn't there one, you probably read this story too, about like, I feel like it was a politician or something or some known person like showed up at an event and like, but wasn't supposed to be there or something. And the cameras caught it.
Right.
And they got like escorted out, like you're out of here.
Dave Portnoy at an NFL game.
Maybe, I don't know. It was something like that where, you know, the kid, like they were doing this. There was cameras scanning faces, and there was somebody on the blacklist, you know, that wasn't supposed to be there, and they got taken out. Yeah.
Here's another content one: AI-driven curriculums for Sunday schools. I've done this.
Yeah.
And I've tested this. And as with all responses that come out of, you know, the language models, you got to read it, and you got to, like I was talking to Kirsten the other day, our HR, and she wanted to do a policy thing. So she went to GPT, she wrote it, and like one of them was totally wrong.
Right. Yeah.
Like it was incorrect, not the law. So it's like, okay, ChatGPT can do all this magic stuff, but you got to read it, edit it.
Anything that has to do with like legitimate like law or policies or any of that kind of stuff, right? There was the other story where like some lawyer wrote their whole case using, you know, some version of AI. And they submitted it, and the judge was like, this is like wrong. It's actually like they're citing cases that don't exist.
100%.
Right? So you know,
the Sunday school curriculum thing, or turning sermons into courses,
right?
Like all of that stuff.
Yeah, small group material. The whole like you preach on Sunday, and then you want to take that sermon. Maybe you have the audio, and then AI transcribes it, right? Which you know that it's not just AI, but you transcribe it, and then you have AI take the transcription and say, turn this into a small group lesson with 5 questions.
Yep.
Right. Give me a draft. Like that was an easy one. Like give me the starting point.
Yep.
And then I can, you know, you're obviously always want to read it. You want to go through it. You want to think about, like, use your mind, right? Like think about it and go edit as needed. But it's a great starting off point instead of starting from scratch. Well,
I've done that with a big body of text, and then I've reprompted it, and I say develop and expand into a 6-week series.
Mm-hmm.
And now I have 6 lessons on the same, because a lot of times you try and reinforce something in church, and the church has gone this way over the last probably 20 years. The series is a thing, and it's actually much better for sermon, like for preachers, because, you know, you can dig into something and stay in it and keep people and actually teach the depths of a principle, you know, like pick a doctrine, right? And it's like, but you can take the initial and then develop it and go deeper and you just say with scripture references, you know, using this translation preferred, and it'll just pop it straight out.
Or use it for ideas. Like, give me some ideas.
There you go.
I want to preach on this. My church needs this. Here's some of the key things I want to hit. Right. Like, give me some ideas. Boom. And so now it's just like an assistant, right? Or a team member. And you obviously do it with your staff too, but it's like now you have this added team member, and maybe it spits back a bunch of ideas and 2 of them are good, you know, and you're like, oh, okay, I want to expand on this one. That's interesting to me. Right. So it's like, you can use it to brainstorm and, you know, come up with ideas and expand on things like you're saying, 100%. and not be worried that it's like, you know,
I'm giving a message to 20-year-olds who are mostly single. Give me a biblical, you know, message with, like, just, you can target it straight in to the listener even too.
Right. Yeah.
Here's one we talk a lot about, and we love this, and we're working on it, or parts of it. So AI can help pastors keep track of members who might need pastoral care by analyzing patterns in attendance, involvement, or communication.
Yeah.
Like this growth track / discipleship journey / every church, doesn't matter what size, you want to see people come to Christ, and then you want to see them grow in their faith to maturity. And maturity means different things to different church groups and denominations, but let's just all agree that the church exists to preach the gospel and make disciples. I think we could start there, and everyone will be on the same page. So we think a lot about that, and how our tech could be really helpful by, predictive is a scary word, but even just by tracking the data and helping church leaders, like, you know, get there first.
Process the data, right? Like synthesize the data into something useful.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
It's like Amazon already does this. Google does like all the tech, you know, they all use data, and whether, right, whatever you think about how they use it, right, you might love it because you're like, man, Amazon tells me what I need and it actually is helpful to my life, right? Netflix tells me something else I should watch, and I absolutely love it because it helps my life. Or you might be on the other side and you're like, I don't use those things because I don't want them tracking me, and it's right. Like, people have different opinions on the matter and all of that. But in the context of like helping people as a church, you already do this in a one-on-one way, right? Like this is like what you do as a pastor in the church, even with your small group, even not even just pastors, but like volunteers, right? Like you're, we're called to like love each other and know each other and be in each other's lives and help each other and care for each other and all the things. And you use data, you use signals to know how to respond, right? Like, oh, they're in the hospital, I should do this. Or, oh, their kids are starting school next week and mommy and daddy are going bananas, and so I should do this. Like, you use data to help you, but it's hard to do the bigger you get and the like more people that you have that you're caring for and all that. So I think if you have data in a system and that system can tell you, hey man, you may not see this, but because, I'm a computer, right? I'm AI, I can crunch this thing and surface it for you. These 10 people look like they might need something, right? And it's meant for good, right? It's like, so, people are going to have to wrestle with that, but hey, I lean on the side of like, that would be brilliant. I think pastors could, do more with that kind of data.
Well, shout out for Elvanto and Breeze, our church management systems that help churches organize data. And in there, you're doing things like data, like water baptism.
Right.
Have they gone through, a volunteer course? Have they actually volunteered? Are they serving somewhere? And all of that, I think the way we think about that context is we want to take the data that you're already storing and we want to serve that up to you in ways that are really helpful for you to help people in their discipleship journey. That's our way to think of it too, right? So
yeah, exactly.
If you're not using, church database management, there's two great products for you.
Yeah.
AI-driven mental health chatbots providing support with human intervention when necessary.
Yeah.
A little scary, that one.
But it's like the hotline, right? It's not dissimilar. It's but how do you use tech to do that even better, right?
Right. And it's a real thing, right?
Still have humans around, right? It's like, I don't have a lot of experience like with that universe, but if there's a good knowledge base of information that it's feeding off of, like trusted info, correct info, like factual, correct, the right sources, all like, just think like doctors, right? Like, or think like healthcare.
Oh yeah, that's going to be huge.
Yeah, like if the system you're going into is being fed the right stuff,
right,
and you're looking for help, starting with the AI to get you to the answer.
Yeah, but the Bible has a lot to say about all this. So let's start with Scripture. Give me 6 Scripture verses about anxiety.
Right.
Like that'd be, and then you go and read that and like get comfort from, it's just, I can go and find all that on search, or I could just ask the tool and it's going to give them to me.
Right.
This is an interesting one. This is number 10 of like 12. It's ethical considerations and the humanity of the church. This is almost like a disclaimer. While there are numerous benefits, it's crucial to maintain the human touch in the church. Like, I kind of like it said that. It's like, hey, like AI can do all this cool stuff, but remember, the business of church is people, and that needs human, interaction.
Yeah,
that's really smart to put it in. When I remember, I just typed in a 1-line prompt, right?
To get ideas, right?
Ensure privacy and data security. Great. AI should complement, not replace, the vital human interactions in a faith community. I mean, I couldn't say it any better than that.
Right. Yeah.
It's genius to me. Couple more. Theological implications and conversations. How does the church grapple with increasing influence of AI in society from a theological standpoint? Encouraging conversations about it. So it's like where
comment leads me. It's like this whole, we've talked about metaverse, we've talked about VR, we've talked about like the world is coming, or the day is coming where there's just, right, the kids call them the NPC, non-player character.
Okay.
Right, in video games. Maybe I'm getting that wrong, but it's like when you're playing a video game, there's you, so like there's your character, but it's you behind it, right? There's a human doing that, but then there's like the bots. There's the other things in the game, the other characters in the game, but there's no person doing it, right?
It's just the computer algorithm.
It's the computer. It's part of the game, whatever, right? It's not like another human playing that character. So, I mean, all this converges, and there's literally like AI, virtual VR, AI, like, things. I don't know what they are. Like, not people, but, and then people are developing like relationships, right? Friendships.
With something that's not real.
That's something that's not real, right? I mean, that's where it's going to get kind of sketchy.
That was it the movie She? Joaquin Phoenix, like, he developed a relationship with this bot online, I think. I didn't see the movie, but it's like,
that's what it was.
There's tons of wackiness that goes on out there around technology. But so the final point is conclusion: a forward-looking church, and I kind of love this. Embracing AI doesn't mean losing the essence of faith, but adapting to serve the community better in contemporary times. As with all tools, it's not about the technology itself, but how it's used to further the mission of the church.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, talk about a great conclusion, wrap-up point, right? It's like, that's pretty cool.
Well, I actually love that it closed with, these points should provide a comprehensive overview and prompt engaging conversations. Best of luck with your podcast.
Pretty cool, right?
Best of luck with your podcast. Oh, thanks, GPT. Appreciate that.
I know. And this is GPT-4, right? So if you're playing around the free version, you're going to get a pretty good feedback. But I just told a friend of mine who was staying here, and he's an XP. I said, man, pay the $20. Like, get to go to the, it's like worth it. Like, cancel some other dumb subscription you're not using. Right. Go and get this one because GPT-4 is now default, and there's other ones. We're just GPT fans, but
you can use Google, right? Bard's pretty good nowadays.
Yeah, and it's getting built into literally into Word and into Docs. It's like it's all coming.
And that I think is a key point, right? Like, every tech platform on the planet, including Tithely, is trying to figure out where do you use this stuff to enhance the product that you already are serving tons of customers with. Right. And so every product that you use as a pastor or a church leader of some sort, volunteer,
it's in there already. You probably don't even know it.
Yeah. Like autocorrect, right? Isn't that the classic example of AI in action, or some version of that, early version?
And Google does the predictive, like quick answer back on the email.
Yeah. Your emails suggesting the word, autocomplete, suggesting answers, so it's all coming to everybody. Like, it's all just happening. So you will be using AI tools. If you're using technology over the next, 12 months, like, that technology will probably, or a lot of the technology you use will probably have AI in it somehow, and you're just using it. Right. So it's just a given that you're going to use it.
We can finish up with a little story I have when I was leaving Australia in 1996. And my buddy had just got me on Netscape, and I was on his work computer, and I went to his office, and I kind of saw the internet for the first time. Email was just, popping. And I said to this guy, man, have you tried email? And he's like, I'll never use email. I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? It's awesome. And he's like, no, I prefer writing letters by hand. And I'm like, good luck with that.
Right.
And I'm like, so you don't want to be that person.
Yep.
When it comes to AI, because that guy's probably written 5 million emails in the last 30 years. But his initial response to a simple, brand new, awesome technology, electronic mail, he's like, no,
resistant, afraid. Who knows what it is for different people, but yeah, lean more in on trying things with, with whatever, like caution and thoughtfulness and wisdom and all the things. Get people around you, right, that you can talk about it. Like, what are they doing? What are they learning? Like, just, jump in, be inquisitive, try to figure stuff out. And, 100%. It's like here, it's in the stuff you're using. So, like whether you're going to use it or not. Like one of the best examples, we hit it earlier, but I'm like, man, pastors that are taking their sermon and then they can turn it into 10 languages and get it around the world. Like, how cool is that? That's a brilliant thing. So
yeah, I didn't know GPT was multi-language. So it was like, man, this thing, because, we love working with our Spanish speaking churches and we're doing a lot of stuff around that. And it's just game changing. So we'll probably in our Church Tech podcast have some segment maybe for the rest of our lives on
AI.
So we're not going to shut up about it. So
we got to find other topics to talk about, but hey, you know what?
We will
for another day.
Yeah. All right. Hey, thanks everyone. What a great time hanging out.
Yeah.
See you next time.
That's a wrap. See you guys.